Hi, I'm Bea from Nimble.handmade. I'm coming to you from Belgium and I am ready to take you on a trip to Yarny Land. So today we are at the beginning of March and this is the third episode of the Yarny Tales, in which I would like to tell you all about my 3 kilometer challenge, of course, and then further on about my whips and of course my finished object, which is this reading scarf. It's like a small blanket that I use around my shoulders to keep warm. I must say that I enjoyed it already quite a lot. It is perfect for people who are working from home, and it is, I will tell you all about it later in the episode. Can't stop. But first, the 3 kilometer challenges. I must admit that the 3 kilometer walking challenge that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, so I was supposed to go out for a walk 5 times a week for 3 kilometers, is still not really in place yet. We go for walks, of course, but it's not the 3 kilometers, and it has to do. Oh, it's an excuse, of course, but it has to do with the fact that in the evenings when we go for a walk, um, it's dark outside, of course, because we're still in winter time, and that makes that we are not able to take our walks in nature, but rather have to stick to the road. Well, it's kind of monotonous, to say the least. We live in a small village, so it's the same street and the same street and the same street all over again. So I hope to get better at it during the year. And spring is coming, so should be okay. Now, the other 3 kilometer challenge is, of course, the one where that I set for myself to design with 3 kilometers of yarn. It's the Scapious Scrumptious box that I use for that. And I am now well into my first project, which is the blanket, for which I already made a tutorial. So it's a zigzag Tunisian crochet blanket. I have made 3 strips of it. So we have a mauve purpley one, and then there is a blue greenish one, and this is purple to kind of blue green. It's all a mix, but I am quite happy with it, and I am now working on a green strip. So this is the 4th strip, and every time I use up, so the Scapious Scrumptious yarn balls are recycled yarn. They are made with old plastic bottles, and they do have an acrylic component in them as well. This makes up for a yarn that is, well, it's synthetic yarn, but it doesn't have the sheen of being a synthetic yarn. It's it has a more rustic feel to it. And this is what I appreciate very much in the Scapious Scrumptious yarns. So I have the entire box, which is 80 colors. I use 10 grams per block in each strip. So I will have used up 1/3 of the box, because these are 30 grams. So I would have used 1/3 of the box when this is ready. And I hope to get there quite soon, but of course there is still 2/3 of the box left, and I have a smaller design that I would like to make. This is a prototype, And I'm going to, well, I didn't cut the yarn yet so that I can reuse it and don't have to waste anything of my 3 kilometers. It's a small lamp, as you can see. It's like a candle, but not a real one, a fake one. And the purpose is to have some flowers to put on the table, and then you, when it's dark, it's still dark in the evenings, and you put on the light, and well, this goes around it, and then you have a glowing flower. Now, I already have a name, but I don't think the prototype is finished yet, because I think this ring is still too big. I wanted to make sure that the light inside it stayed visible, but I think it's a bit overwhelming for the other rings of the flower leaves, so still have to work on that. And this I will cover as well. It's very tacky plastic. So it comes in these, I bought it at the dollar store. It really looks plasticky, but with the cover like being in green, being the stem of the flower, it's all camouflaged. So this is something I'm working on as a smaller project that I will release as a pattern for free on the blog. I'm not really sure if I mentioned it, but for the blanket as well, you can find the free pattern already on the blog. So the first part of the pattern, which is the strips, and then I will make a second part in which we attach them to one another and create the entire blanket. And the pattern is on for free on the blog. The tutorial is here on YouTube and on the blog. There is a link. So I will put everything down below as well, so that you can reach that, and I hope you will join us in the fun. Now, I also have some other whips I want to talk about. Of course, this is not a whip, this is my finished project. It's a crocheted shawl, and I have it's a stitch that really looks hard to crochet. I made some modifications to it, that it's a more kind of a flatter stitch than usual, but I will make a tutorial about it, and then you can do it yourself. It's not as hard as it looks, and it gives a very nice effect if you use some colors, or you can use just one color and then enjoy the fabric that it creates. Now I have, I'm gonna try and stand up. So these are the pockets that are on the side. They're really big, and of course you can use them for your book or your glasses or your iPhone or anything you want. So I really enjoyed this. I was pondering if I should make something to close it in front of me, but I decided against it, because I mostly wear it when I'm sitting down, and then it nicely covers up my shoulder. It has a kind of a collar, so I can put it up so that I'm really not cold in my neck, and then I can work at my desk and don't need any heating. Now, I made this out of a Belgian yarn. It's Anel Toronto, but of course you can use other yarns as well. I will mention them in the pattern. For example, Drops Air would be a really nice yarn to use for a well, I don't know, is it a scarf or a stole, or, well, something like this, something nice and cozy and warm. And it's also very nice to have it on you when you are reading a book. So I presume that's why it's called a reading scarf. Now, that's not the only thing I have. I still have some projects here that I would like to show you. This is finished. The pattern will be released in the coming weeks. The next things I'm going to show you are all still work in progress. So the first one is still a secret, so I'm keeping this video hidden until she has received it. But my friend is a ballerina. She's my age, but she still dances. I got to know her when we were very young and she was dancing, and she still does. And I think that's just great and amazing. So I made her a pair of leg warmers. So what I did is I took a ball of self-striping yarn. That escaped me. So this is the yarn I use, but you can use any sock yarn that is self-striping, or even a non-self-striping yarn. This one, we apparently have some bookstores here that sell yarn as well. I was lucky enough to find this one. And I paired it up with my favorites yarn, which that's my all-time favorites, which is the Drops Kit Silk, to give it that sheen. So when I would knit it without the kit silk, it would be, the striping would be much more visible. Now it's kind of muted, but I think the effect is really nice as it is, and it has this fluffiness around it. So I also used a 3mm needle instead of a 2.5, which I would use for sock yarn only. But it creates a nice dense fabric. And then I hope that what I created as a design will fit her nicely. So what I did is I created the leg, and then I am narrowing down at the ankle, and then here you have the hole where the heel is supposed to come, and then there is the part that needs to go on these, I don't know how you call it, the shoes you wear to do classical ballet. So that's the leg warmer, and I inserted a small lace pattern. I don't know if that's close enough. The purpose is that when she puts it on her legs, that it will show through when she has like these pink panties underneath, and she wears it all till up to her knee. And when she pulls it down, I'm just gonna try to show you on my hand, then it folds up nicely because of the lace pattern. It scrunches up very neatly like this. So I am going to give her this for her birthday, and I really do hope she can use them for dancing, and that she gives me, of course she will, I know she will give me some feedback on the design itself. I secretly called her daughter to know if she needed this kind of thing on her foot, so it's all something new for me. I am not a dancer by far, so I really hope they fit her. If not, I still have a ball of yarn left, because I thought I needed 2 balls of yarn for a leg warmer this big, but it turns out I didn't need a second one. I even was able to manage a kind of symmetrical color variation on both of them. So I'm very pleased with it, and I hope she will be too. If everything goes right and they fit her, maybe I do some adjustments, then I will make a pattern, and I think that it will be nice to knit for your dancing daughter, or maybe you are even a dancing mom, and you knit them for yourself. So that will be updated. There will be an update soon. Then another thing I am designing is, well, I'm not designing. I tried to design, but it didn't work out. So that's what happens sometimes. I had the yarn from the Simply Sweet Advent Calendar by Olivia and Oliver Fibers in the Netherlands. And this was the yarn in the pack from the from December 25th. So this was my Christmas gift. And I wanted to design something special with it, because I think it's too nice to just use it up for socks. Although I do like socks, and self-knit socks are really a treat to your feet. Nevertheless, I thought I would create a shawl or a scarf out of it, and I wanted kind of a zigzaggy, not zigzaggy, well, a pattern in which the yarn would be used in stripes, and they would move a little, so they would flow. I tried to do that with elongated stitches here at the bottom, and it doesn't do anything at all. And I think that's because of the drape of the kit silk I used. So I used drops kit silk for in 2-stranded for the middle part, and 1-stranded is the sock yarn. Now this didn't work, and then I tried a kind of a fawn and feather pattern, but I don't like that it goes like this, and you see that the stitches are pulled through. Well, it's not my cup of tea. So I decided that I will frog it all and then try something new. So to be continued. I'm really enjoying the Advent calendar, I must say. The first thing went all right, which was the big scarf, the Dust of Snow scarf, and I really am happy with that one. It's marvelous, and I really like wearing it. I received a lot of compliments about it, so yeah, it really was a treat. But this one isn't working out. We'll see what we'll do with the yarn. I'm also working on, I do have to dive down every time to get my my projects, but anyway, I do want to show you the Zodiac icons blanket, the cal that I'm following, which is by Alexandra Tavel of 2 of Wands. I've shown you in the previous episodes what I made. This one was the last one. It's the Aquarius. So what this consists of is basically a blanket that is knit in intarsia, and every time a new well, there is a new oh god, a new zodiac sign. Sorry. So every time that there is a new zodiac sign, then she releases a pattern for a square that will form the blanket in the end. So it's a mystery call. I haven't seen the blanket yet, and I am using a yarn and the colors that she used for her blanket. It's not the Lion brand yarn she uses for it. It's something we can get here at a store, quite a cheap yarn that we can get at a regular store, which is Julia by Zeeman. It's also 80% acrylic and 20% wool, so it fits perfectly. Now, this is what I have from Pisces. Not much of fish to see yet, but I wanted to show you how how you can be creative with these intarsia patterns. So Alexandra put gave a tutorial, and it's available when you go and have a look at the cow patterns. You can still see it, in which she really explains what kind of puzzle you can make with a pattern like this. So what I did is I printed out the drawings, and then, as you can see, every time I have knit something into the square, I scratch it out. I hope that's that's how you call it. And as you can see, the eyes of the fish are not scratched out, which means that I haven't done them yet. And because they are only 4 stitches on 4 stitches, I will embroider them onto the square. So you can choose. You can do a fair isle technique, in which you have the floats at the back of the work. You can do intarsia, which is the little bobbins that you have floating around at the back of your work, so that you have all the colors that you. And she really gives a good tutorial on how to make these little yarn balls that are hanging. I used to have these plasticky yarn fish that they call it, and I well, they are kind of heavy, and they pull too much. They pull your stitches too much and too tight, which I didn't like using. But this method really is great, and she she shows you how you make these little yarn balls to use without any plastic or wooden thing to keep your yarn on. So it's like a puzzle. What I did is I used the white, of course, for the three main rows, and then going up there is I use 1 ball of yarn for this section, and then the rest is the white yarn that I use throughout. And then as soon as we come when it's like a yin and yang sign, this, so the more voluminous part of the fish is here. So as soon as that is about to happen, I will use the white that I have on this side just for this side, and then I will do the middle with the other end, because the floats are not really that long. It's only a few stitches every time. So well, I like the puzzle. I hope you do too. And you can check her pattern out. It's really it's well written. It's in a, she works together with someone who is into spiritual things, and well, it's really very nicely put together. So I'm enjoying this, and it's only once a month that you get a new pattern, so you manage to finish the square in a few hours, and then you wait for the next one, and every time it's like a new puzzle you get. Then what I have still left on my needles is this one. I will show you my scarf first. So last year I designed this scarf. I didn't publish the pattern, but if anyone is interested, I can still do that. And then I'm now making a hat, and I'm working on the muscle bra hat. I think it's called muscle bra, because, well, Musselburgh is a place in Scotland, and as you call it Edinburgh, I think it's Musselburgh, but some people call it Musselburgh or Musselborough. I don't know. It's the pattern by Isolde Teague, and it's a double folded hat. So what you do is you start making it on this side, you end at the other side, and then you fold it double, and you can even fold it with a brim, and then you have a very nice hat that you can wear both sides. The nice thing about it is that you don't need to make a swatch for this one. You can, she explains when you have cast on, where you need to measure, and then count what you need. And then she has all these diagrams in which you can find out how many increases you have to make, and how many decreases in the end, of course, and how many stitches in total you need, how long your hat should be, so that the middle part between the increases and the decreases, everything is very well written. So it's no wonder that it is a hit on the internet, and that many knitters have made this hat already. I think it's a gorgeous pattern, and I do hope that this hat will fit me, because I have very cold ears all the time, and this one has not a double layer, but it's 4 layers that go over the ears if you fold it up. So I'm really looking forward to that, for the 3-kilometer walks, of course. And well, the one thing I can say about this is I'm knitting this now on a 4mm needle, and the scarf is knit on a larger needle, because this is mohair yarn. It's by Fildar. It's Phil Leo, and it's 71% mohair, 10% wool, 70% polyamide, and then 2% elastane. There is a bit of elastic to it, but I wanted to make it more dense than usual, because this is normally knit with a needle size of 6mm, and now I'm using only 4, because I want the fabric to be quite dense and elastic for a hat. But if it will fit me, we will have to see, but I'm quite confident in that one, because I've seen already a lot of ladies knit this as a hat, and it fits. It has a very good fit around the head, so wait and see. And then let's see. Oh yeah, I am designing something new with this yarn, which is Drops Snow, and it's gonna be very thick, but it won't matter in the coming spring or summer, but it's so thick, so I'm gonna keep you posted on that one. But anyway, I think that's it for my whips. I still have a question, and I would like to thank you first for still being here. With the scrumptious yarns, I am thinking about designing a scarf, and I'm not really sure because spring is coming, but then again, I think that the yarn is suitable. It's not as warm as wool because it's a synthetic yarn, but it's a very soft one, of course. So you can easily wear it in spring because it's not as cold as a cotton yarn. So I'm still debating on that, but if you would like to see a scarf in the scrumptious yarn, then I would really enjoy it if you put this emoji of a scarf in the comments, or write scarf in the comments, and then I will dive into a new pattern and update you on my progress. Of course, if you want to see more of everything that I'm doing for the challenges and apart from the challenges, you can follow me here. I would really be grateful if you could subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And of course, you can go to the website and subscribe to the newsletter so that you get everything in your inbox. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you next time.